Hello and welcome to our live Q&A. We're here today to answer some commonly asked apprenticeship questions. So my name's Aaron and I'm a recruitment consultant for CT Skills. I've been recruiting for apprentices for 5 years now. I've worked at CT Skills for 2 and a previous training provider for 3.
Hello, I'm Ross Breaker, I'm the recruitment team leader. I've been doing apprenticeship recruitment for 7 years now and been with CT Skills for 3 years. So hopefully we can answer some questions that you have today. Okay, so we'll give people a couple of minutes to tune in.
Yeah.
Because we've got some pre-set questions, what we've had over the weekend, so hopefully we can answer some of them for you today. So let's kick this off. We've had some questions in over the weekend from Anna in Mansfield. So she is thinking about an apprenticeship, but she's unsure where to start and she's asking us for advice.
So one of the things that we like to do when we're recruiting for apprentices is talk to them about like their experiences at school, the subjects that they've enjoyed, their key skills and strengths, and then we'll try and sort of match them to one of the employers that we have that are recruiting like in the local area basically.
Have a look at hobbies and interests as well. So what they've enjoyed doing at school, what they do in their spare time as well. So that obviously always helps trying to match what they're looking for to get into.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt from Nottingham. So he's told us he's leaving sixth form in the summer and he can't decide whether he wants to go to university or choose an apprenticeship. So what would we recommend? So it's quite a similar sort of answer to that, would you say?
Well, the thing is, when you've gone on to sixth form, you've sort of picked subjects that have sort of led on from your GCSEs. So again, it's things that sort of show you basically your strengths. A lot of people will take business as a GCSE, so quite commonly they'll want to go into like a business administration apprenticeship. The only reason they sort of choose to go across from sixth form to apprenticeship is to actually earn and learn at the same time. They can get a similar qualification, level 3, but actually get paid for doing it.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
Quite a common one that we do get, we've had a question from Simon from Nottingham. I'm not very academic, would an apprenticeship suit me?
Yeah, again, work-based learning, the way that the apprenticeships are delivered are generally in the workplace. So you won't go to sort of college or classroom-based, it will all be done sort of via observations and professional discussions.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
Marina, how much of an apprenticeship is classroom-based? So she said that she's always struggled with sitting in the classroom. Yeah. She doesn't enjoy that environment.
So again, we've sort of covered that with the question previously. A lot of it is done across the workplace. The best thing about it now, there's been a lot of changes with apprenticeships. So you have to do 20% off the job training, which is really good for especially 16 to 18 year olds or 16 to 24 year olds, because they will work across a business. So 20% of their training has to be out of their usual role. So they could work, if they usually work in administration, they could work in the finance department for a day a week or the marketing department, and they just get a scope of the whole business. Again, apprenticeships as well, like I said, I did say 16 to 24, then they are open to any age now with the changes that came into place.
Definitely.
Had any more questions come through yet?
Nothing's come through at the moment.
No.
But we've got a couple more, again, pre-sort of set questions. So I've been thinking about an apprenticeship, but my parents are wanting me to get into university as they think it would be better for me long term. Yeah. Is this correct? So I'm just going off
statistics out there, aren't there?
So recent statistics have revealed that university graduates are now earning on average £4,000 a year less than those who have completed an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Which is obviously
again as well
the situation we want to be in.
You know as well as I do, with the applications that we receive for the vacancies that we post, we receive a lot of applicants from graduates. And when we're having conversations with them when they've applied for the role, they're actually finding it really hard to get into employment after coming out of university, because they've sort of gone straight into education and continued with that throughout the sort of adult life, and they've not got the work experience that employers are looking for.
Definitely. Hello to the new viewers. We've seen that we've had a few more people tune in.
Hello and welcome.
Okay, so just some generic questions as well that we've had. What is the salary for an apprenticeship, and how long will I have this salary for?
Yeah.
So the current wage for an apprentice minimum is £3.50 an hour. Not all of our vacancies do pay the minimum. There is somewhere that will pay a higher salary.
Yeah, we always push for more.
Yeah, we always push for more. The apprentice wage actually goes up from April this year to £3.70, again as a minimum. You will look to be on that for your first year of training. Again, it's not always the minimum that you will be on, so each vacancy that we do have is always different, so we'll have to discuss that with you. But we always weigh up your options of travel, your outgoings and stuff to make sure it's the right thing for you to commit to that year programme.
Yeah.
Anything else on that one?
No.
Okay, another question we've had, I don't want to work in an office job, office environment. What other areas do you have apprenticeships in?
Well, again, it all depends on the business. We work with a lot of different businesses across the East Midlands. Some can be sort of very outdoorsy companies. We also deliver, apart from the apprenticeships, we do traineeships, and a lot of those are based in sort of construction industry. We've got some great opportunities out there. So again, it all just depends on the company that you're sort of applying for an apprenticeship vacancy with. We'll always discuss the vacancy in sort of detail with anyone that's applying before putting you forward for the role, just to make sure it is well suited to you.
Definitely. Again, just touching on that question, so just as examples, if you're not into office environment, then we've got practical roles such as childcare, health and social care, PE apprenticeships as well, so teaching in schools, various different roles. I mean, each vacancy we do have is completely different. The admin roles that we have are so varied. So again, we'll speak to you on a one-to-one basis and let you know what we have.
I think another really good commonly asked question from sort of the parents' point of view, we get asked a lot of questions from parents. Obviously, it's their child going into an apprenticeship for the first time. So I think the most common one is what will it cost them?
Yeah.
But obviously, from a parent's point of view and a candidate's point of view, it's not going to cost you anything. The apprenticeship is a way into work where you're going to receive obviously an education and get paid for it. So I think in a very rare cases, and we do try to avoid it, some companies will request the apprentice to pay for the DBS check, but a lot of the time we'll get it reimbursed or paid for up from the company anyway.
Definitely. One of the questions we've had, my son is too young to drive and would struggle to get public transport, so would you be able to find somewhere close by? As we just recently touched on a one-to-one basis, we'll always look at how far the placement is away from you. We ideally look for something within sort of 3 or 4 miles, one direct bus there and back. We look at the working hours as well, because again, all the vacancies we have are so different. Some start as early as sort of 7 AM in the morning, or you could finish as late as 6 on shift patterns. So we'll just have a look to make sure you can get to and from on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
Have a look at some more questions that we've had come through. So we have one from an employer. We are a business which is new to the apprenticeship world. We are worried if we get an apprentice, they might not be very hard working. Would you recommend an apprentice?
Well, we can evidence this with case studies that we've done from employers.
Yeah.
We had, like I say, we've got a number of employers across the East Midlands that will swear by apprentices. They've never had them before, never taken them on before, and we've definitely converted them into sort of taking apprentices on.
Definitely. We've got a case study going on tomorrow from one of our employers, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Should be a good one.
Had any more questions come through live yet?
Nothing yet, but no other questions. For some reason it's froze at the moment. It's froze.
Okay, well, we've got some questions previously asked, haven't we?
Yeah.
So another question that we get from a lot of businesses are there any implications to taking on an apprentice, sort of, that they hire?
Sorry.
About the implications to a business if they hire an apprentice.
So yeah, not necessarily. It's just like an ordinary staff member. Obviously, there's a requirement from our side of things for learners to have time for set aside for training, but it is just like a normal staff member. And we get that it's obviously a younger person with less experience, but what might suit you is you can mould that person that hasn't got that experience or knowledge to the way that you want them to be. There's nothing coming up on these questions. Nothing coming. For some reason, the live feed's not working at the moment, but we're
few technical issues.
Technical issues. There we go. Got that.
Here we go.
Okay. Can you do it? So Sabrina has asked us, can you do an apprenticeship if you don't have a level 2?
If you don't have a level 2, can you do an apprenticeship? Yeah. We can pretty much link an apprenticeship to anyone. We do have certain entry requirements, but everyone that applies for an apprenticeship that sort of gets through the recruitment process, we will set up on some initial assessments to see what levels they're coming through at in sort of maths, English and IT. Generally, we don't have many people that aren't applicable, but in some rare cases where they don't meet the entry requirements, we can refer them onto a traineeship that we deliver in our centres, and then sort of progress them onto an apprenticeship from there.
Definitely. A lot of people do come to us not sure what they want to do at all. So we'll have a lengthy discussion again just to work out what it is that they're interested in. If they're still not sure, or if there's something that we can't offer apprenticeship wise, we do have other options of avenues for them to go down to build the skills that way as well. Okay, so just some vacancies that we've got in and around the area. So if you're in Nottingham, we've got various different vacancies in office administration, childcare, central Nottingham, Mansfield as well. Derbyshire, again we've got a mix of vacancies. We've got customer service apprenticeships, business admin, childcare. What else have we got?
We've got a couple in Leicester as well. We've got health and social care in Leicester. It shows sort of the wide variety of apprenticeships that we sort of offer and across the regions that we offer them. Again, the sort of employees that we're working with, we work from very large to sort of very sort of micro employees as well. I think you've had another question?
Yeah, we've had a question from Steph. Hey guys, I'm 30 and have a degree. Would like a career change. Could you help me find an apprenticeship at my age, and would I be overqualified?
No, you wouldn't be overqualified, and as we sort of touched on earlier, apprenticeships are open to anyone of any age. Previously, you couldn't do an apprenticeship if you sort of had access to higher education, but that's all changed with the changes that came into effect last May. Basically, as long as it's a different sort of industry, which Steph has mentioned that it is, she's looking to get into a new career. So yeah, that's something we could definitely support her with.
Yeah, since the change last year, we've had quite a few people that have been retrained in different sectors. So they've been working for one of the scenarios, hair and beauty, for 20-30 years, and wanted a complete change due to family life at home, so needed better hours, so changed into a sort of care office administration role. Another question from Jess: how much support days off do you get for the coursework throughout the apprenticeship? So how much work days do you get off for the coursework throughout the apprenticeship? So again, that's different.
Everyone obviously learns at different paces and different rates and in different ways. So some people need less time to sort of do the coursework, and some people need more. So we work very closely with their employers, and we make this very clear to them right at the beginning of an apprenticeship. We get the buy-in from the employers. They need to be there to support the apprentice. So there's not really a specific set amount of time, is there?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, we recommend a few hours a week working from home, just to get yourself through that. And ultimately, it's your commitment as well, so you need to put that work in to get on that, to get the qualification. Obviously, it's going to benefit you overall as well. We've had another question from Ben. Can you tell us more about the Generation Z stuff?
So, was that a question from Ben? Did you say?
Ben, sorry. Can you tell
Hi
us
Ben. So yeah, Generation Z is something that our marketing team has put together to target sort of, I guess it is generated towards the 16 to 24 year olds, and they're basically I'm trying to think of the word for it, but they're the generation of people that sort of can do and will make a difference. They're not afraid, they're not shy, they're not scared to ask those questions. And again, we find this all the time with the apprentices. They're going into a business and they're constantly asking why. Why do we do it this way? Why aren't we doing it that way? And they can make a huge impact to a company.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
I've noticed we've had a few more people tune in, so hello, welcome.
Yeah, hello and welcome.
If you've got any more questions, please send them through. We're running out of questions now, but we've had a few.
Yeah.
Slightly passed on a piece of paper.
We have. So we've got Shannon Murphy. What are the salaries like, and what levels can we do in an apprenticeship?
Okay.
So levels with an apprenticeship generally start off at level 2, and they can go all the way up to sort of degree level now, can't they, in the workplace?
Definitely.
So I guess the traditional way of doing it is doing your level 2, progressing on to your level 3, depending what industry it is you're working in. You can then go up to your sort of level 4 and level 5.
Yeah, and we'll always have a look at your previous qualifications, your experience as well. So it might not be the case that you will go straight on to a level 2. If you've got that experience, or if you've been doing training at college or school in that chosen subject, then we'll always have a look at that and just do what's right for yourself and also the employer as well in regards to the qualification.
And to just touch on the questions about salaries, apprenticeship minimum wage is £3.50 an hour currently, but we do always push employers to pay more because, well, the more they pay, the better quality candidate they can sort of
Definitely
get.
so.
But at the same time, it just depends. I think our average would probably be more like £4.50 an hour for an apprentice.
In Nottingham it is as well. And the apprenticeship minimum wage is due to increase in April to £3.70 an hour, so it is going up.
Yes, it is.
Can you do a part-time? We've had a question from Jess. Can you do a part-time apprenticeship?
You can. We'll do it as sort of a minimum of 16 hours a week, but an apprenticeship generally, a level 2 will last for 12 months. So if we're doing it at sort of 16 hours a week, we'll look to sort of lengthen the duration of the qualification. But again, it all depends on the candidate. If you can still complete it within the 12 months, we'll obviously push for you to do that. But generally, we can lengthen the programme.
Great stuff. I've had a question from
that.
James. Do you have to do maths and English alongside or on an apprenticeship? So we briefly touched on this earlier. Depending on your previous qualifications, so if you have C's and above at maths and English, you are exempt from having to do that alongside it. If not, again, depending on what level you've previously got, or if you have done functional skills before, so you could have to do maths and English alongside the apprenticeship. But again, before we even get to that stage, we'll have a sit down and speak about what rooms of development that you've got. We'll do some pre-assessments as well, so to make sure what level that you're looking at, what level you're working at as well. Good question.
Yeah, good question.
So, anything else coming through? So I'll just have a quick scroll through.
I mean, we're always here, we're always behind the phone, so we're happy to sort of answer any questions at any time. You can contact us through the website or through our recruitment hotline. So I think it's probably a good time to sort of wrap it up now. I'd like to introduce the forum that we've got. So Ross, if you'd like to just mention a bit more about that on Friday.
So this Friday, we're running an apprenticeship forum in our Nottingham and Derby locations. All the address details are on the website. It's from 11 AM to 1 PM. So we will be there to meet you if you do wish to come along. There'll be workshops and seminars, and we'll have some local employees there as well for you to have a conversation with. If you do want to book your space via our website, so get on as soon as you can and book a placement.
So we'd just like to thank everyone who tuned in today, and we can answer any questions as we said, so hope to see some good questions coming through from you guys.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.